So two other important decision processes that go beyond logic and rationality are intuition and escalation of commitment to a chosen course of action. So you see, intuition is an innate belief about something without conscious consideration. So managers sometimes will decide to do something just because they are feeling it right, or they have a hunch or vibe about some decision. Okay, so this feeling is usually not very arbitrary. Okay? Rather, it is based on years of experience and practice in making decisions in similar situations. So you'll see that some of the senior managers don't even have proper business education, or they don't have exposure to a lot of organizations outside their own comfort zone or their own context or country, but they still take a lot of decisions based on their intuition, based on their hunch, because they have years of experience which tells them in the back of their mind that this is how they should go on when there is a decision situation. Okay, so an inner sense helps these managers to make an occasional decision without going through a full-blown rational sequence of steps. Okay, so they're not doing any calculation, or they're not doing any logical steps, or following any logical steps in taking decisions. So, for example, Kip Tindall, who is the CEO of the Container Store, he emphasizes the use of intuition throughout his company and urges employees to believe that it is critical in the workplace. So this is interesting because the CEO, he not only uses his own intuition, he also tells his employees to use their own intuition as well, because he feels that this is very important in the workplace. He is quoted as saying, "Intuition is only the sum total of your life experiences. So why would you want to leave it at home when you can come to work in the morning with it?" Of course, all managers, but most especially inexperienced ones, should be very careful not to rely too much heavily on intuition, because they don't have enough experience to back their rationality. So if rationality and logic are continually, uh, subsided over what feels right, that you are going to always take decision based on your vibe and not with logical or rational calculations, the chances are there that you are going to face a disaster one day. Okay. Another very important behavioral process that influences decision making is escalation of commitment. So you have an escalation of commitment to a chosen course of action. So in particular, decision makers sometimes make decisions and then become so committed to the course of action that they cannot, look into anything else other than that. Okay, they cannot see what appears to be wrong, because they are very much committed to what they have already thought as right. So, for example, when people buy stock in a company, they sometimes refuse to sell it even after repeated drop in the price, right? You know that in share market, the price drops and then again it moves up. But then again, whenever there is a drop in price, you basically face a lot of loss. So even though some people who are doing business in the share market, who are investing in the share market, they know that there is a chance of price dropping, and they repeatedly face that situation where the price decreases, but still they choose a course of action, and that is what? That is buying the stock in anticipation of making a profit in future, and then they stay with it even in the face of increasing losses. So they keep on making losses, but they still, keep on investing in the stock market. And at one point, when after the value really drops, they rationalize that they cannot sell it now because they will lose money. Okay, so they keep on keeping that money in the share market, and that is an example of an escalation of commitment. Sometimes you stick with a decision just because you have a commitment that you have already made with the decision. You cannot come out of it. You cannot get rid of your feeling. Okay, even though you know subconsciously that this is wrong, you still go ahead with it. Okay, so this is called escalation of commitment. Now let me give you another example. For years, Pan American World Airways, they ruled the skies and used its profits to diversify into real estate and other businesses. But with the advent of deregulation, Pan Am began to struggle and lose market share to other carrier companies. So when Pan Am managers finally realized how ineffective their airline operations had become, experts today point out that the rational decision would have been to sell off the remaining airline operations and concentrate on the firm's more profitable businesses. But because they still saw the company as being first and foremost an airline, they instead began to slowly sell off the firm's profitable holdings to keep the airline flying, because they were actually committed towards this company. This was their first company. So they let go of profitable ventures and they kept on investing in this one. So eventually the company was left with nothing but an ineffective and inefficient airline. And then they had to sell off its more profitable routes before eventually being taken over by Delta. So if Pan Am managers made the more rational decisions years earlier, chances were there that the firm could still be a profitable enterprise today. Maybe not in the airline industry, but maybe in some other profitable industry. So, in contrast, a group of investors they licensed the use of Hard Rock logos and trademarks of a theme park, and that is named as Hard Rock Park. And this was built in South Carolina. So, after 6 years of planning and construction and an investment of over $400 million, the park opened in Merrill Beach to dismiss reviews and poor attendance. Now, rather than increasing their investment and trying to increase attendance, owners decided after only 9 months to shut the park down and sell off its assets. Now, why is that so? These decision makers must walk a fine line. On one hand, they must guard against sticking too long with an incorrect decision, and sometimes, on the other hand, managers should not bail out of a seemingly incorrect decision too soon. So there is danger of both. If you are really escalating, uh, you have an escalation of commitment towards a decision, you sometimes take too long to take a decision, and sometimes, without even going through all the rational alternatives, you take a decision too soon. So both of these cases are quite dangerous for organizations, because at the end of the day, you take up a wrong decision. All right. So this is something that you should avoid. Okay. Now, Adidas also at one point took a very hasty decision. So what did they do? Adidas dominated the market for professional athletic shoes, and we all know that, right? So it subsequently entered the market for amateur sports shoes, and they did quite well there. But managers interpreted a sales slowdown as a sign that the boom in athletic shoes was over. So they thought that they had made the wrong decision and ordered drastic cutbacks of the business. So the market took off again with Nike at the head of the pack. The Adidas never recovered, but Nike took that chance. They were not too hasty in their decisions. They saw opportunity in that particular amateur shoes section, and they invested there, and they have made a lot of success in that area. So this is how you should not hasten a decision, or you should not slow down a decision, because you are too much committed to your own vibe or too much committed to your own decisions.